Welcome back to another boring episode of the ShreveportConnection with Tommy. Okay, since nobody is able to watch or wants to watch NXT, I'm going to be reading the results posted by Stephen Matthews on one of the dirt sheets. Okay, intro. Before they look back at the obstacle challenge from last week. Decision to let Curtis try a second time is the focus before heading to the NXT intro. So they showed highlights. Todd Grisham welcomes to the show, and he sends it to Matt Striker on the stage. Striker brings out the NXT rookies. Striker reminds the rookies that there will be challenges which will help the rookies earn immunity from elimination. And yes, they can do whatever they want, what have you, with the voting system. They can, it's like one competition will be 1 point and another one will be 2 points at their discretion. Okay, tonight's competition is a wheelbarrow race similar to the one from NXT Season 3, where 2 immunity points. The Soaring Eagle comes out to sit in the barrel to make it a little heavier for the rookies. And those that don't know, Chavo Guerrero is playing the part of the Eagle. First up is Johnny Curtis as he gets booed. Curtis has to restart for going before the whistle. Curtis finishes in 13 seconds. Jacob Novak is up next. Novak wears his jacket while pushing the wheelbarrow. Novak finishes 12.8 seconds. Taking the lead, Brodus Clay is next, who gets cheered. Clay finishes in 13.8 seconds. As the barrel falls over, and so does the Eagle, which make the fans agree and they laugh. Conor O'Brien is the next one up, as Alberto Del Rio says, "Do something good," and Striker corrects him saying, "Do something well." O'Brien takes off and finishes at 12.7 seconds and now is the leader. Byron Saxton is next. Master says that Saxton is muddy and Saxton stops to put a black glove on. Saxton finishes with a time of 12.5 seconds and you have a new leader. Derek Bateman is the last one, and Brian starts to chant for him. Bateman finishes with a time of 12.5 seconds. Striker says he won, but realized that he tied Saxton's time. Brian wants a replay, and Bateman holds up an American flag and drops it. Striker says the two must go again. Saxton finishes in 13.1 seconds, but Saxton doesn't cross the line. They look at a replay, and they give Saxton a 13.1 second time. Bateman is next and easily makes it around the ring in 12 seconds to win the competition. Dolph Ziggler takes a few shots at him for dropping the flag. Again, whose side are you on? And calling him a communist, Bateman earns 2 immunity points for winning a physical challenge. Todd Grisham and Josh Matthews hype the 2 matches tonight: Johnny Curtis versus Jacob Novak, and a rematch from week 1. And a 6-person tag between Ted DiBiase, Brodus Clay, and Maurice against Chris Masters, Byron Saxton, and a Mystery Diva in the main event. As they go to break. Back from break, Jacob Novak is talking with Dolph Ziggler in the corner as Johnny Curtis goes over strategy with JTG, who was sitting in the ring, sitting in for sick or truth. He's got a case of walking pneumonia. He almost died a couple weeks ago. Several wrestlers had to rush him to the hospital, and he's been out of action since then. Curtis starts off strong after a few counters and holds from one another. Curtis with a snap suplex and a cover for a 2 count. As we see Vicky Guerrero watching backstage, Curtis hits a neck breaker for a 2 and climbs to the top. Novak gets up and clubs Curtis, knocking him to the floor. Novak takes a few minutes and heads to the floor himself, kicking Curtis and whipping him into the apron. Novak throws Curtis back and kicks him for another cover for 2. Novak hits 2 leg drops and covers again before drilling Curtis with a side slam. After a near fall, Novak applies a sleeper, but Curtis gets out after hitting a belly-to-back suplex. Curtis goes back on the offense and hits a big running elbow for a 2 count. Curtis with a float over suplex and a 2 count. Novak goes shoulder first into the ring post, and Curtis applies an armbar. Dolph Ziggler runs in, distracting the ref, as does JTG. Ref restrains JTG, and Ziggler takes a cheap shot at Curtis. Novak hits a big boot and covers Curtis for the win. We see a quick replay, and Ziggler and Novak discussing the win as Novak appears to be bleeding a little from his mouth. Then they go to a look at Derek Bateman. He says he had to pursue being a wrestler and had the support of his family. Bateman continues to put over his fist, calling one freedom and one justice. They go to break and then they're back. Take a look at Conor O'Brien. As he says, he was made fun of as a kid for looking like a rat, but eventually he started to take up that persona. O'Brien talks about the Attitude Era and says he wants the WWE to go through the Ratitude Era. Okay, there's a comedy bit from earlier in the day between Daniel Bryan and Derek Bateman. Bryan is trying to teach Bateman a bridge while Bateman does a half bridge. Reading the history of the WWE Championship book, Bateman fires off some random information and Bryan stops his bridge looking at Bateman. Bateman pays no attention to what Bryan says, so Bryan shoves him out of the half bridge. Bateman says he understands why Bryan did what he did, but will win the trivia challenge for him, and that guy, pointing to a corner, a guy sitting in a chair, and says, "Nice bridge," to Bryan, who looks confused. Hot Seat Trivia Challenge is up next after a commercial break. Matt Striker is in the ring with the rookies who all have microphones. This challenge is worth 1 point. Striker says he will mention a category and the rookies will have to give an answer in 5 seconds. First category is about the victims of The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. All 6 get an opponent right, so nobody is eliminated. Next category deals with the King of the Ring winners. All 6 got it right, so nobody's eliminated. Clay says Diesel, and Clay says something about Diesel, and he's eliminated. Time for a new category, and it's all about cities that hosted WrestleMania. O'Brien says Pee Wee Herman. For some reason, he's been eliminated. So I guess it's a Father May I thing instead of the crap that they just stated. Curtis doesn't have an answer, and he is the next one eliminated. Next category is all about 2010 WWE pay-per-views. Saxton says Survivor Series, and he's eliminated for repeating an answer. The next new category concerns WWE champions. Novak says John Cena after the timer goes off, and he's eliminated. Striker says it's a clean sweep for Derek Bateman, who wins and earns another immunity point. Since they didn't state what the questions were, I can't give an opinion on that myself. Main event, 6-person tag team match is the next after they went to a commercial break. Come back for a commercial break. Backstage, Alberto Del Rio is being served on a tray by Ricardo Rodriguez. As Conor O'Brien walks in, Del Rio asks O'Brien if he's learned anything after watching his match last week against Derek Bateman. O'Brien says he can win in NXT and become the greatest superstar ever, but Del Rio cuts him off and says that part has already been taken. O'Brien asks Del Rio for a piece of cheese. Del Rio tells him to win NXT, and he'll give him all the cheese he wants. Okay, Ted DiBiase and Maurice brought a disclaimer out first. Chris Masters and Byron Saxton come out next and wait for their third partner, who is a mystery, and guess who it is? Natalya is revealed as their tag team partner. The match is up, and Maurice looks a little bit nervous at this time. The bell rings, and Maurice and Natalya start things off. Maurice trash talks and pie faces Natalya, and then runs to the ropes for safety. Natalya heads to the apron and grabs Maurice by the hair before going back in the ring. Natalya tries to roll up Maurice and goes for the sharpshooter, but Maurice goes for the ropes. Brodus Clay tags in as Byron Saxton comes in for Natalya. Clay shoves Saxton down, and Clay hits a shot to the ribs. Clay with a clothesline to Saxton in the corner, follows up with a hard whip. Saxton walks out, and Clay hits him with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Saxton falls to the outside as Clay stalks him, and they go to commercial. Back for commercial, DiBiase is dropping knees on Saxton and covers for a 2 count. Ted applies a sleeper, but Saxton is able to tag in Masters. Masters hits several chops on DiBiase before Clay tags in. Clay gets some offense on Masters, but Masters fires back with chops on Clay. Saxton tags back in and gets a few shots in, but Clay again knocks him down and hits another overhead suplex. Clay steps on the ropes for leverage and hits a big stomp before another cover for 2. Saxton hits a knee face buster, but doesn't tag out. Saxton pays for it, taking a huge drop kick from DiBiase for a 2 count. Ted applies a chin lock, but Saxton gets out and tags in Masters. Masters takes down DiBiase with a shoulder tackle and a spine buster. DiBiase is able to regain control for Dream Street, but Masters counters and hits a power slam. Masters calls for the Master Lock, but DiBiase takes advantage, hitting a drop kick. After a Clay distraction, Maurice slaps Masters, who fires back with more chops to DiBiase. DiBiase hits a knee to the back of Masters and applies another chin lock. Masters powers out, and both are down. Maurice tags in, and Saxton walks in. Maurice slaps Saxton, but Natalya runs in and clotheslines Maurice. The 2 go under the bottom rope and fall to the floor, leaving Masters and DiBiase break it up on the 2 on the floor. Clay hits a clothesline on Saxton, followed by a power slam. Trey drags Saxton to a corner and steps onto the second rope. Clay does a splash, but Saxton moves out of the way and covers Clay for the 3 count. Replays are shown as Saxton and Natalya and Masters celebrate. Saxton's first win as the show comes to an end. And that ends your NXT results. And still, Kaval has been released, y'all. But in 3 days, he's headed to IWC, and he faces Amazing Red. So again, thanks for watching and listening. Peace out, and happy holidays.